So welcome back to Kids Can Code. Today we're going to go over how to set up an animation controller so that we can switch animations. So we have these two animated guys. This one can jump and this one can run. And right now they have no controllers, and I'm going to show you how to set those up. So the first thing we need to do is come over here and we're going to create animator controller. And we're going to name this Pencil Man controller. Okay, so if we go here to the animator window, if you don't have this, you can just go to Window, Animator, and then put it wherever you want. So this is the animator window. You have any state, which means he's just doing nothing, and then the entry and the exit. I don't use exit very often. So first thing we need to do is, if you watched a previous video, I showed you how to create these animations. Now that we have them made, we need to add them. So here you have your jump, and we're going to do run, and then you see it automatically did this, but we don't want that. We're going to delete that state after we create somewhere for it to go. So we're going to empty state. We're going to just say idle, which usually means the same thing as waiting. We're going to go from entry, make transition to idle. Okay, and then it should let us delete this. Why is it not letting us delete this? I don't know why it's not letting us delete this. I want to delete this. Apparently it expects you to have the very first one as your idle state. That's fine. We'll just start again. So we will go create animator controller, Pencil Man controller, and then the first state we'll do is an empty state called waiting, and then we're going to create the state. Oh, we don't need to create state. We need to just drag these up here. We got jump and run. And then we need to go to parameters, this button here, and we're just going to make a bool. Bool stands for yes or no, or true or false. And we're just going to make jump. Okay, and we get this nice little ticky box here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go from waiting, make transition to jump. Easy enough. Click on this little arrow thing. This is the transition. These are conditions, and this is an exit time. We don't want an exit time. An exit time means that when we're done waiting, we're automatically going to exit waiting and go to jump. But we don't want to do that. We don't want it to jump unless we tell it to. So we're going to uncheck that. We're going to go conditions, push the plus button, jump, true. Okay? Simple enough. So then on the jump, we need to make sure that this is right. That should be it. So let's see if that works first. So he's just standing there, and then if we go over here, we push jump, and we go back to the game, he's not doing anything. And that is because we did not apply the animator to our guys. So when you go to the scene, select him, and see how it says missing controller. So we go to the controller, and we drag it up there. Now we have a controller, and now he's jumping up and down for joy, because in our animator it says jump is true. And you can see this is where it shows that it's doing it. So if we were to drag this down here so that we could view it while it's running, it'll show you what state it's in. So if we go, nope, no jumping. Oh, it's still jumping. Why is that? Because we did not tell it to go out of this state and return to waiting when we are not jumping. So now what we need to do is we add another transition back to waiting, and we click on the transition right here, and it does have an exit time, which means when it's done jumping, it'll return to waiting, or when jumping is false, it will return to the waiting. So now when we press go, we're jumping, nope, don't want to be jumping. Oh, do want to be jumping, nope, no jumping. Okay? So the thing about the exit thing is that you'll see that the second I turn the jumping off, it still continued the animation. So if we were to go to here and have the exit time turned off, then he'll just keep jumping and jumping and jumping, and the second that I unclick that, he'll stop jumping. Okay, but you can see it takes a couple split seconds to continue, and that is here in settings in the transition duration. So we set this to 0 so it won't take that split second anymore. So when we turn it off, it just turns off immediately. It doesn't wait. And that's it. That's how you can set up the first step of your animation controller. And this is what's called a state machine. So you have your entry. It goes, the first transition goes to waiting, which usually we would have as an idle motion, which means the same thing as waiting. But I haven't made that one yet. And then you have your jumping. So what would we do if we wanted to have more states? So to do that, what I would do is I would just go from waiting to running. Okay. We're going to add another parameter. We're going to have a float that says speed. So this is how fast he's moving. And you can see that this is the pencil man is only running to the left. And if we really wanted to be particular, then we would do a direction here. And if he was running to the left and his speed was up, we'd do one thing. And if he was running to the right and his speed was up, we would do one thing. But we're making this pretty simple. So we're waiting. Our transition to running is, we add a condition. We go speed is greater than 0.1. Okay, and also, just like up here, we want it to be able to get back to waiting. So we can go make transition back to waiting. And this is if the speed is less than 0.1. Okay, so pretty simple. So he's jumping, nope, don't want him to be jumping, I want him to be running. And there he goes, off he runs. Now, as you can see, he can't seem to jump while he's running. So, what would we do about that? Well, we would make another transition from running. We'd make the transition from running to jumping. And we would hit from run to jump. And does not have an exit time, which means we don't have to wait for the animation to finish. And we're going to go jumping true. So, now we can be jumping. We can turn off jumping. We can go, now we're running, and we want to jump. And it didn't do it. Why didn't it do it? It should have done it. Did I not save it? Settings, jumping true. Should go from running to jumping. Running to jumping. Huh. Interesting. Why are you not jumping? I don't know. But, as you can see, you know, everybody has issues. Even people who have been doing this a long time. Small things throw wrenches in our plans, and that's just something that happens. So, I will finish the video another time. but that's how you set up a simple state machine for animating your character. There we go. The problem was that we had the transition duration too high.